A little experience with the 3.6 liter all-wheel drive. I really wasn't jazzed about it. I felt like it felt a little bit too mature for its own good. Whereas the 2.0T with rear-wheel drive really feels like a sports car. It really feels fun and playful, and like it has that 50-50 weight distribution that Cadillac has worked so hard to achieve. So we've got sort of a balanced lighting setup, so we can't be like as hard on the throttle as we were in a couple of these failed videos earlier. But the main point that I want to make is that the ATS Coupe is extremely fast. It's about 5.6 seconds to 60 miles an hour with that 272 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. And that torque comes right on at 3,000 RPM, which is outstanding, which is a it provides a really enjoyable driving experience. And with this 6-speed automatic is amazing. It has magnesium shift paddles here. You can do like multi-shifts, so we can just do, you know, we're down to second there and then back up to 6. Nice. So then even in automatic mode, it will hold the gears briefly. It's an absolute performance car in terms of how it hits its red line. A lot of vehicles will hit their red line and become really upset, and like, you know, they'll start like cutting power dramatically, and you've got all sorts of lights flashing. Whereas this car will sit at its red line like very contently, waiting for the straightaway. It's ready for a racetrack. And for, you know, for that matter, we hoped to take the ATS Coupe on a racetrack in Savannah, but it was pouring rain, and generally manufacturers frown upon press guys taking their vehicles on a track, which kind of makes sense. But the ATS really feels like it can handle it. So the steering is amazing, great throttle response. This performance trim comes with 4-wheel Brembo brakes, larger brakes, and special compounds, obviously, with those Brembo branded calipers. It's Cadillac and then Brembo is, you know, right on the gray calipers. Looks really cool. Brakes are outstanding, really grippy. The engine itself feels extremely potent. It's even in fully dry weather. The ATS Coupe on the way to Cars and Coffee on Saturday was we wanted to do a little like demo hooning, and it'll for a brake torque launch. I mean, this thing will light up the rear tires like you know, like a real you know, like it's a Corvette on the inside, which is really fun. And also, I've been finding as driving in the rain with the traction control off, it has an amazing amount of traction. It has really wide tires in the back for a really good grip setup, and great traction for rainy weather. I mean, I'm in the south, so there's like a lot of asphalt roads, and they're just like, when it rains, they're just really slick. But this car really gets up and grips, and is just a total delight. So the steering is great, performance is great, great brake feel, great driving feel, amazing power. I mean, fast, really legitimately fast. I don't want to tell you what speed that was because I live around here. I don't want to get in trouble, but it's quick. It'll definitely do like a 45 to 95 mile an hour passing maneuver, like really easily. And with that sport mode, you can see it knows that I was driving like, you know, was really hard on the throttle, so it's been it didn't just upshift right back to a high gear for fuel efficiency reasons. It really is like game. It wants to play. It wants to play hard on the brakes, just for example. Outstanding. It's just an amazing vehicle. I've even really warmed up to its appearance. Initially, I was like not so jazzed about the ATS Coupe. I thought it like didn't have enough going for it in terms of like the latest style. You know, the gloss black rims, and certainly it doesn't look nearly as aggressive as the amazing new ATS V with 455 horsepower, a giant domed hood, ducktail spoiler, sill extensions. I mean, that ATS V is hot. So when you look back at this car, I mean, I can definitely see what I was saying like 2 months ago when I was like had an editorial where I was like, the ATS Coupe is boring. But now I've really come to admire its design. There's a sense of purity and coolness in the coupe that of course, you know, you would want in any kind of two-door vehicle. It's just cool. It's and some of the details that I didn't like, you know, like I was surprised that there was like bright work on the grill, and that there weren't like cooler wheels available. I mean, all that stuff like any car guy could fix in like an afternoon. I mean, you could take it to like an auto salon and they could gloss black that stuff, or you can even plastic dip it yourself if you're brave and skilled. And from that point, you not only have like a really amazing performance Cadillac, but you have a one-of-a-kind car that people are going to be like, holy shit, what is that thing? It's so cool. And that's what the ATS Coupe really brings to the table. It's just a very thoroughly engineered vehicle that I am very keen on at this point. So like wish list. Okay, so trying to cover like, you know, like all these videos that I did that like didn't get. So that's my bottle of water. All these videos that like didn't save right. So like in terms of wish list for the ATS Coupe with the 2-liter engine, I do wish that there's a really throaty exhaust note coming from the dual central pipes in back. You especially hear when you use the remote start of the vehicle. You know, it's got a good burble. It sounds really good. But from the front, it doesn't have as characterful of a note as the ATS Coupe with the V6, nor as I feel like it should or could. And my reference point is the Camaro V6 RS, which has a sound composer at this point that basically is just as well as like a dual mode, like a flapped exhaust. And that could be something that would really benefit the ATS Coupe, because you want to have that holistic sense of like dramatic sports car driving when you are in like a really cool, like track ready, cool performance car. So, you know, that could be one area where they might want to look at sort of like upping the drama a little bit, and we might see that in like a forthcoming ATS Coupe with the V Sport, or an ATS V Sport in general, which could leverage some of the amazing additions to the ATS V and its 3.9 second sprint. But as it stands, this ATS Coupe is like a real favorite of mine. It's outstanding. I think I would put it a firm, like on equal footing with the BMW M235i, which it actually mirrors in. It's a little bit cheaper, despite this car coming in with options at about $49,000, which is like exactly what the M235i is. So that's what I would benchmark it to. Despite Cadillac shooting for, or you know, having, I don't know, whatever to say. I've said benchmarked 100 times, but you know, they were obviously benchmarking the 4 Series. But at this point, the 4 Series is like pretty big and pretty pushy and posh and cushy, and it's just like a pretty, like, it's just huge, and it doesn't feel, it's just not as playful. Whereas like I feel like this ATS is more in the certain terms of like playfulness, and eagerness and like track puppy dog, you know, behavior that you get from the 2 Series. It's another pass. So I just love the car. I love the car. I'm probably gonna get home and this video will be like another, you know, another sort of like thing where I get to the computer and I'm like, oh my god, what the, you know, because I had so much GoPro drama and trying to shoot these videos. But it is important to me to give sort of like that first-hand look at the what the ATS Coupe can do and share that with you guys. So definitely 2015 Cadillac ATS 2.0T performance pack. One of my top 5 cars of the year. Bottom line, feels worth the price. I mean, these days when a Camry is coming in at 35 grand, I think for 45 grand for the ATS Coupe performance with special performance upgrades, amazing handling, one of the best driving positions you'll ever feel, fantastic seats, amazing cabin quality, literally fantastic wood, stellar leathers, semi-aniline, super soft leathers, suede dashboard. I mean, this car has got it going on. So despite being a little bit of a skeptic about the ATS when it first, the ATS Coupe when it first came out, I'm a wholehearted believer at this point, and I think you can tell that. I mean, we're out shooting a video and it's dark and on almost a holiday because they're coming to pick up the car in like an hour and a half. So that's why I wanted to make sure and get the video in the bag before it went back. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. This is Tom Burkart for Car Revs Daily, and check out the full review. There are like 150 really cool pictures of the ATS Coupe, looking gorgeous, daytime, nighttime, and in lots of scenic locations. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.